Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. There's an exciting week ahead of us as we get a few new events or returning events that are coming back in the game. I'm very excited to see Adventurous Journey coming back because it does lower the cost of getting one of these heroes on a guaranteed basis. I would love to see stronger heroes added to this particular list, namely heroes like Lance or some of the more recent legendaries that are very strong in the game. I'm really glad to see Shaoyun here, Imercado in here. If anyone were to think about, if you don't have any of these heroes, the order I will pick them will probably be either Imercado or Shaoyun as your primary pick. If you need someone who's more of a boss killer, I will go after Shaoyun. Which is really good. But a lot of people probably had it if you were from the anniversary round. But if you're new to the game and you haven't gotten a copy of Shaoyun, I would say she's probably the best pick in the group here. Now, if you already have Diema and Indra on this set, maybe it's a consideration to pick the next best pick. I would say Imercado is probably the second best pick in this list, very close tie behind Shaoyun. Imercado is a great poison damage dealer, and if you have a poison based team, I would even consider bringing Imercado simply because of the greater synergy with poison heroes from Imercado here. And Imercado does have Teru. Teru is, out of all the free-to-play heroes that are available on this list, Teru is probably the most viable out of the four. So if you're free-to-play, this is probably the path that makes most sense for you. Now, if you're willing to spend the $30 to actually get to one of these heroes, and you happen to have both Shaoyun and Imercado, the next one I will pick is probably Freud. I will pick Freud over Adkins simply because the value of attack up with speed up is so valuable in PvE content. Adkins is more of a hybrid between PvP and PvE, and from a tanking support perspective, we have a lot more heroes in the game that provides some sort of shielding, tenacity, damage reduction already. Most people are running with Santa and Nordak for the most part, and Catherine, so you really don't need to use Adkins. So that's why I say Freud is probably the third pick on the list. And if you have all three, I would suggest going for Adkins, or go for exclusives on the other one. So that's kind of the primary pick. And if you're free to play, I suggest this path simply because Teru is the only viable choice out of the group. The rest are all kind of bad. Now, if you have all of these heroes, I will recommend then you consider which of these blessings you're probably most interested in, or which exclusive copy you want to get one of these on. I am going to pick Shaoyun on this account simply because I'm actually missing a lot of internal injury blessings on this one. Once you select the path, you will see that you need 70 tokens to make your way to the end. You will be able to just use the supply card, which is $30 to be able to get there, and you'll be able to complete the path. But what's important to remember, you actually have to finish all of these quests every single day. If you miss a day, then you're going to have to pay for it and spend another $20 here, which definitely is something you want to avoid. So make sure you're disciplined, logging every single day, do all of these quests every single day if you want to avoid yourself from spending 20 extra bucks to complete this. You will get this as these blessings as stage 60, but again, the point is to finish it. So once you commit, make sure you log in every single day. Don't forget to do your daily quest over here. After the Adventurous quest, this week we also have the return of Gift of Heaven tomorrow. So make sure this is your great opportunity for free-to-plays, especially to pick up a legendary Dragon Eye. And these once in a month opportunities are hard to come by. Even if you're not able to do all 500, maybe you can do this every 2 months, because the progress you make on Gift of Heaven, this particular event, it saves your progress. So as long as you have some extra summons around, you could slowly work towards the Gift of Heaven event and get some extra legendary eyes for your heroes. Consumption event, today is the last day, and I think this is a great sign that the game is doing well. You can see that in this past month, in the past week, we have seen 8 players spend over 2,000 in a week where there really isn't much of deals. The only one is the new pet, and the pet is quite expensive, and it's not really a good, money's worth. If you look at my spending guides, unless you're a big Kraken, spending up to 2,000 is really difficult. Maybe you're starting a brand new account and there's a lot of good deals when you're starting the game, but still hitting 2,000 is pretty rare. But being able to see that many players able to drop $2,000 in a span of a week, that says something about this game. There is a lot of vested interest in it. The game is growing. We're getting a lot of new players, and the older players are also willing to spend in the game. So the game is in a very, very healthy state. What I would say is in this week, Miracle event is coming around. Today is the last day. You could consider picking up some Miracle summons to get ready for it. My guide and code for Aptoide is still available. I have 2 extra days than the other content creators for the game, so mine goes all the way until the 10th. So make sure you use that to take advantage of 5% extra discount. If you're not sure, I will have the guide for Aptoide on my channel. I will link a specific guide to Aptoide on my channel as well. This week we also see a list of heroes that are coming back into the game. One of particular hero of interest is Morikis. So Morikis is on the list. Morikis is a great PvP hero as well as a PvE hero. Really strong bleed hero, competing for first spot with Lance. I would still say early game players, Lance is a much better bleed hero. Morikis is more of an end game hero just because how much effective hit you need on her to make her to fully take advantage of her kit. So she's much harder to build in my opinion. So, but nonetheless, she's a very solid bleeder and you can definitely take advantage of her early game. Just compared to Lance, I think Lance is just that much easier to build. Now, the other hero that's coming into the game is called Marvela, and we don't have any information on her today. We'll know tomorrow, and on Wednesday, I will be putting out a hero review guide for her once she becomes available in hero trials. But I wonder if she has anything to do with Marvel, because literally the name has 1 letter difference. So maybe they're sisters. Who knows? We'll see. That could get very interesting because Marvel used to be really strong upon release. It's just we don't see her anymore. I really like the concept of, when certain heroes have interaction with others and you get nice combos out of them. I think this sums up most of the events. Consumer event, today is the last day. We have the pet event just for a few more days. Spirit Beast Cultivation. If you really like a pet, usually, this is the opportunity to either get the new pet or get a copy of the older pet. I have recently just done a video on pets. I know pets is very, very not free-to-play friendly, but I highly recommend you check out that video because even if you're a free-to-play player, you're going to have to fight against pets and understand, how they potentially interact with the game. So, and you can use it in fair play arena, so you can take fully advantage of these pets, at least in that content. All right. Lastly, what I'll say is if we look at the events this week, if you got heroes to build, just hang on a little bit longer because we have double ultra drops this coming weekend. So you can save the amount of energy you use when you get to Thursday. So that's for your emblems on your heroes, Altar of War. These you get double the drops in just a few days. So just hang on a little bit longer. Now with this particular account, today is the first day in Ultimate Division. So going forward, I am no longer in the Legendary Division, and I will be competing against all the biggest Krakens. We'll see how this account hold up. Now, I know I do okay. I used to enjoy being, the top, 3 or top 4 in the Sage of 7 Luli. That is about to change. That is about to get very difficult for me as I'm competing against some of the biggest whales in the game. Now the rewards do go up a little bit, but you'll hear more from me about this transition and how you should feel about these transitions. In my mind, seeing how well Flurry has done and getting first place in championship, congrats by the way, Flurry, that is great hope for the game as well. When you see someone who's from server I think he's server 68, to be able to go against some of the biggest and baddest, the Krakens of the deep, it is very hopeful for new players. With a year being safe from competition against some of these older players, you can really progress your account to a point where you can fight head to head with some of the biggest Krakens in the game. So, and Fleury probably got there with maybe a quarter of what Klee had to spend, and he beat him in championship, which is a good sign for the game. Saying that the balance is good. They found decent balance where newer heroes do make enough of an impact on the game that newer players are able to catch up. Older players do still have to spend. They can't just sit on their bums and go off of that Incarnate Sanctuary. Incarnate Sanctuary is important, but it is a much smaller part of the game than what it used to be, given all the different things you have added to the game. So we'll see. I'll share more of my experience in Ultimate Division and my thoughts about the whole system. I think this transition definitely puts the system to a test for me, and be able to fully experience what is it like to take accounts fresh out of Legendary into Ultimate Division, when you used to be maybe the top 5 players in the zone or in that division, and then all of a sudden, what is it like to then go up against the strongest players in the game? How far are we really from those guys? So I'll catch you guys in the next one, and hope you have a great rest of your week. Gandalf out.